Welcome everyone, I'm JP and this is
Big guy.
Pack and Draw, where we open a pack and draw the card later. Let's see what we got inside.
Panseer, Moriol, Wishy Washy, Qfant, DNL, Dunsparce, Diggersby, Electric Energy, Clang, Gothoria, and Pierce.
So what are you thinking here? This is a unique one where we take two and we combine into one. So go ahead, you can pick the first half.
How about we go with Digsbury?
Okay, so you said Digsbury, and I'm gonna pick something you probably don't think I'm gonna pick.
Clang.
All right, let's get drawing. Welcome to the drawing part of the video. Here we have one of our combination options here. We take two different characters and put them together. We have Diggersby and Clang. So this should be interesting, kind of like a misfit toy in many ways. So let's get going here. I'm gonna use my thicker marker to work on the outer edge, kind of build up that form. I always talk about kind of like cartoony styles tend to do this a lot. Now, the sketch I have here, the original sketch I used some of the gears and Clang to make the bottom part Diggersby. So instead of having all those bumpy, which I think are fur, we have like multiple kind of gears going around. So should be interesting. See how this turns out. There you go. Have that there. I'm going to start working on the head. I'm still going to keep that kind of snout area there. I'll come around here. It's kind of like a lumpy head, so I don't mind if it's not like perfect. And plus, it's a essentially it's a made-up character. All right, so there's some of the outer form. Definitely going to keep this thicker. All right. So there we have the outer form. I actually kind of cut off the legs because they weren't very pronounced to begin with. I just put those gears since it's kind of floating there anyways. I'm going to come back with a slightly thinner marker to do some of these other parts here. So say like these kind of like little stubby arms. Which I'll save that for later then, the other parts of the arms. And the gear, again, I have these gears kind of like at the end of the ears. Gears and ears. All right. Maybe probably would have ended that a little differently, but no worries. There's some dimension here. I'm going to go in there and fix that a little later. And I'm going to just try to be careful here. It might look a little odd what I'm trying to do. Only because there's the sharp edges of the gears tend to have other points to them. Especially this angle. Well, that's a tough one. All right. So it's coming along nicely. Actually, I'll use this for this part here. Got that rounded part there. Since this kind of juts out, I'm gonna make that a tiny bit thicker. Kind of, I like to weigh things on one side, kind of like the hypothetical shadow part, or kind of like where the sun's coming over. And I'll get that mouth later. But I'm gonna start working in some of these other markers, especially for these edges here. And everything might not line up perfectly, but what always helps is if you actually don't connect them, there's a less chance of it seeming like it's not perfect, but you just hope the viewer connects the dots. Yeah, it's not too bad. I think there's one down here. I'll just do kind of like an implied one. And round off the edges. There's an arm back here too. Perfect. And some of the kind of like the formed ears up top. The form is a mean way of saying it. Maybe just different. Different. Just kind of different, right? All right. Go with a negative positive shape there. And for that part, I'm going to use actually part of Klang's kind of actual like face. I'm going to substitute that in there. So hopefully that makes sense. There's some extra gears here too. Like there's kind of like some rounded parts here. For that, hopefully that makes sense. And let me go and start adding some of the details. I can come back and fix some of the other parts if I feel like it. So there's these kind of like there you go. Adding some of those extra details, adding some of the design elements here. that kind of fall underneath, that kind of connect into all this. And there's a lot of directional points I can add in here if I wanted to. Because it's going all around. Like that part there doesn't fully connect. There's like almost a weird kind of angle that's not adding up, but that's all right. Add those parts there. You know, it kind of looks a little odd here, so I add a little bit of shade on this side. One thing that maybe you can't see is the eye part, and I think I'm going to fill that in there. Perfect. I even have a little, these kind of triangle elements that kind of appear out there. I don't mind how down here it's not perfectly connecting. There you go. I could definitely overdo it with all the hard angles and so forth across this, but overall, I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. Got its like little whiskers there. Let me add there just to show some dimension. Really want to fix that there, but that's perfect. But in the sense of I don't want to overdo things too much. There we go. Kind of a different approach. I probably would have used a thinner line for this inner part here, but it definitely shows roundness. We have a darker part around this, around the edge of it. You could definitely tell the gears kind of coming around. It's a bunny, and then the top part is what it is with the ears and the gears kind of all combined together. Maybe you would have one of these arms in front of it, but that's okay. It's behind it. And I'll just add my signature. There we go. Diggersby and Clang put together. Hopefully you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And take care. Thank you.